What's up, guys? Joe White here. So, Robert Downey Jr., of course, was announced as playing Victor Von Doom in and they did explicitly say Victor Von Doom. He's not playing Tony Stark. They did say, well, we got to get the greatest actor to play Victor Von Doom. And this was at Comic Con. And then, of course, Robert Downey Jr. was the big reveal. Immediately after that, about a day after that announcement, Comics Explained, Rob from Comics Explained, go check him out, did a video about a what if comic. And this is where they're going with this, folks. They're using what if as a guideline. For those of you who don't know, the what if series of comics is just like the what if television show. It's like, what if Captain America was the bad guy and Red Skull was the good guy? And Captain Carter, becoming the Captain America variant. That's a what if thing. And what if Doctor Strange went mad? Stuff like that. So they are using the um, what if comic book as a backdrop or as a stencil, if you will, or backdrop. I'll say a backdrop because it's not going to follow it directly. They never follow the comics directly. That's not their job. Their job is to adapt them and base their movies upon them. But anyway, um, so in this what if comic, um, basically what happens is it's what if Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark went to MIT together. And basically what happens is that Victor Von Doom comes from a poor country and he doesn't have a lot of money and he has to get scholarships and everything else to get him to MIT. Meanwhile, Tony Stark has his daddy paid his way to MIT and he's a young prodigy and he's at MIT partying while um, Victor Von Doom is there studying his butt off. That's what happens. And then Victor Von Doom gets jealous of this and he wants Tony Stark's mind because he wants Tony Stark's money. So he develops a machine with Tony Stark. He convinces Tony Stark to help him work on this machine. And he convinces Tony Stark to test it out. Well, what happens is a Freaky Friday / Face Off thing happens where Tony Stark's mind goes into Victor Von Doom's body, and Victor Von Doom's mind goes into Tony Stark's body. The key here is, though, that Victor Von Doom erases Tony Stark's memory. So Tony Stark's mind is in, follow the bouncing ball for kids. Tony Stark's mind is in Victor Von Doom's body, but his memory is erased. So he only knows himself as Victor Von Doom. He goes back to his home country and he's poor, but yet he develops the Iron Man system as a defense mechanism. And the reason why he does this is because Victor Von Doom, who is now in Tony Stark's body, goes graduates from MIT and fully goes evil Tony Stark. He develops weapons for the military. He develops the Iron Man as a Iron Man suit as an offense mechanism. He kills anybody who gets in his way and becomes totally vindictive and diabolical. And he has a good time doing it. He's rich and powerful and all this. It's like a Freaky Friday Prince and the Pauper scenario, So while he has the Iron Man costume, Victor Von Doom designs the Iron Man costume. Tony Stark, who is in Victor Von Doom's body, again, follow the bouncing ball here, kids. Victor Von Doom, aka Tony Stark's mind, develops the Iron Man armor to look like Doctor Doom's body. So picture the Iron Man armor painted green and gray, and the Victor Von Doom body painted gold and hot rod red. So go look up Comics Explains video about this. It's very crazy. And it all ends with Victor Von Doom, aka Tony Stark's mind, figuring it out and confronting Tony Stark, aka Victor Von Doom, about it and saying, hey, Victor Von Doom then goes, I'll switch our minds back. And Tony Stark is like, no, you're going to go to jail. So Tony Stark's body with Victor Von Doom's mind ends up going to jail. They don't switch back, which is crazy to me. Because in every face-off Freaky Friday scenario, they get switched back. So, but that doesn't happen here. now that the bouncing ball is done, we could go and talk about this is the route that they're going. So you're going to see, and Robert Downey Jr. said on Joe Rogan's podcast right after Endgame came out, he goes, I'll only return to the character. I'll only return if they do something with the character that's never been done before. Well, this hasn't been done before. You're going to have Robert Downey Jr. as a Tony Stark variant, but with Victor Von Doom's mind in him. And I'm as an actor, that's pretty complicated to pull off. So it's not that easy of a feat. But on the flip side, they're gonna have to get an actor who play Victor Von Doom, but as Tony Stark. And Midnight's Edge, the guys over at Midnight's Edge, and the guys over at the Doomcock and Nerdrotic and Mr. H Reviews and all this, they all say the same thing. This sucks. This sucks. Why don't they get Mads Mikkelsen to play Victor Von Doom? It's like, okay, guys, the 80s are over. Get over it. All right? I was born in the 80s. I was born in 85. I'm a child of the 90s. I missed the 90s. But I realize the 90s are never coming back. One of them suggested, oh, let's have Arnold play Victor Von Doom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Arnold is one step away from having lung cancer because of all the stogies he smokes and all the, come on. Come on. Can't you think of anything better than Mads Mikkelsen and Arnold? If you're going to have these two go to college and be maybe they won't have them go to college, but I think that's where they should start. But can't you guys ever come up with anything better? Can't you guys come up with something that's a little bit more fluid and a little bit more, a little bit better? That's the thing with all these critics out there, is that they always say something sucks, but they never say how they would do it. They never say what they would do, how they would do it better. You know why? Because they can't. Because they don't have a better way of doing it. They just sit there in their basement surrounded by all their goddamn action figures that they have, and they just say, oh, this sucks. This sucks. You can do it better. There's so many better ways to do it than having this convoluted thing. And then you got the guy from Norway who could barely speak English sitting over there, across the pond going, this sucks. We should do it better. Well, how would you do it better? Andre, how would you do it better? Come up with an idea and throw it out there. Because you don't have, what's the point of bitching about it if you ain't got an idea? What's the point of saying something sucks if you don't have a way of doing it better? That just shows you that the people who actually do have an idea, yeah, the idea may suck, but at least they have an idea. You have nothing. You guys have nothing. And I used to be fans of these guys, but it's like getting to the point where day after day they sit there on YouTube and bitch about how much they miss the 80s. The 80s are gone. The 90s are gone. They ain't coming back. Do I like all the woke DEI stuff? No, I don't. I absolutely don't. But I don't see you guys pitching ideas to do it better. You just sit there and go, oh, well, that sucks. Well, if it sucks, think of something better and pitch it. But you can't. Because you have nothing. So I think that we just need to wait and see. Yes, they went back to the well. And yes, it's a pure, we're hitting the red button and going to DEFCON 4 form of action. Let's bring back the Russo brothers. Let's bring back RDJ. Yes, it's a very much a desperation move. But you know what? At least they realized they messed up. Because and Jonathan Majors, hats off and God bless you, Jonathan Majors. I hope that your career rebounds because you probably did us a favor by doing what you did. Because if Jonathan Majors had not been convicted of whatever he was convicted of, they would have went on with the Kang storyline. And they would have went on with the Young Avengers deal. They would have went business as usual, but no, because a monkey wrench got thrown in their plans. I mean, the second that that verdict came out, the second that that verdict came out that he was guilty, Marvel and Disney immediately released a statement saying they were severing ties with him. They had that statement printed up at the beginning of all this mess, and all they were waiting to do was hit the publish button on the damn web browser. That's all they were waiting to do. So I think that they realized they messed up. That combined with the fact that they had no more Kang and they weren't going to recast him, because then you would have people going, well, you recast Kang, but you wouldn't recast Black Panther, which is still stupid to me. You notice you're not going to see any Black Panther variants in this damn thing. Why? Because we can't recast Black Panther. Come on. Come on. I'm sorry that the guy died, but I mean Chadwick Boseman's tragic. What happened to him was tragic, but you could recast him. I don't think anybody would have said you might have had a few people on Twitter going, "How dare you? It's so disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman." Who cares? Those people are still going to see that movie anyway, because Marvel is at the front of it. They're still going to turn up to see it anyway. Hell, that's all you got left. This Deadpool and Wolverine thing, the box office on it is a flash in the pan, because it's, hopefully they've seen the errors of their ways. I don't think they have. But I just think that everybody needs to take a wait and see approach and quit your bitching about it, or do a video about how you would do it differently and come up with a valid idea, instead of just sitting your fat, neck bearded, single living ass in your basement surrounded by all your action figures and toys and replicas of the Starship Enterprise, bitching. Because that's all you're doing. You can either keep bitching, or you can actually bring forth a valid idea from that feeble little brain of yours. I have ideas about how they could have done this. I mean, there's a million ways they could have gone. They could have hit the reset button long before now. But I'm willing to take a wait and see approach to this, instead of just going, oh, this sucks. How stupid and just ignorant. You're ignorant. You're showing your ignorance. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you down the road.